Mumonkan, case number 14. Nansen kills the cat. Just as a word of introduction, Nansen is a Zen monk from China out of the 8th or 9th century after Christ. So it's quite a long time ago. So here comes the Koan. Nansen saw the monk of the eastern and the western halls fighting over a cat. So that monastery in China must have been very big. So they had two halls, the eastern wall and the western hall. And they were fighting over a cat. Nansen, seeing this, seized the cat and told the monks, "If any of you can say a turning word, can say a word of wisdom, you can save the cat." No one answered, so Nansen boldly cut the cat in two. That evening, Joshu, another Zen master, returned to the monastery, and Nansen told him about what had happened. Joshu removed his sandals and, placing them on his head, walked out. Nansen said, "If you would have been there today, you could have saved the cat." So to get started, let me repeat. These kind of Zen Koans, these kind of stories are about you, the viewer. The aim of such stories is to provide a breakthrough in yourself. The hope is that you, the viewer, may benefit from it, and that you may find the unity and the oneness that is implied in the story. Not as a theory, not as an intellectual exercise, not just saying, "Ah, yes, I got it." No, as a living experience. Usually, we live our lives with upside-down views, what we can call upside-down views. We take ourselves as this body, as this ego, this character. But when we practice meditation, we end up rediscovering our true experience, our original view of the world, the view of the world we had as babies. And we turn ourselves back around to what I will call right side up views. To trigger this, let us go a little bit deeper in our living experience, using a little exercise which is inspired by Douglas Harding. So, I invite you to take a good look at your screen, tablet or phone. The way you see me, you can see my face. But ask yourself for a moment the question from your vantage point, from that side of the screen. Do you see a face? You would probably say, No, I see a face on the tablet, but do you see a face from your vantage point? Or is there just aware space on that side? So the upside down view, in this case, is to believe that you have a face. The right side up view, from speaking from experience, is that there is aware space, that there is no face. So, and now what about this one? You can see on your screen a nose, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a mouth. But the same question again, from your vantage point of view, from that side of the screen, can you see a nose, eyes, ears, and a mouth? No. You cannot find one there. All you can find there is vast, empty, aware space. So here again, the upside down view is to believe you're walking around this world with a nose, eyes, ears, mouth, but in fact, from the right side up view, there is none, just aware space. And third exercise, what you can see in this face are several things moving. Maybe my skin is moving a little bit, maybe my eyebrows. But can you see movements from that side of the screen, from your vantage point? And same with colors. In this side of the screen, you see the colors of my skin, of my eyes, etc. But are there such color on your side of the screen? Or is it just empty space? So from these 3 little exercises we did together, you can learn that in fact, from your point of view, we just project a face on this. We just project a body over here. We just project a character playing a role in this world. That is the upside down view. That is how we usually act. But from the right side up point of view, there is no face here. There is no body here. What is here is just aware space. This space itself can be called oneness. It's usually considered undividable, boundless, and it cannot be cut in 2. So, now that you got a little taste of it yourself, I hope, let's go back to this koan and see if it can make a little more sense. Nansen saw the monks of the eastern and western hall fighting over a cat. Well, here I have to say, all arguments, all conflicts, even all wars, they originate from the fact that we consider ourselves as body minds, separate from our surroundings, separate from our other fellow human beings, and creating a dualism between me here and not me there. This way a child will quarrel about a toy, an adult will quarrel about a car, a job, a position, a relationship, and the monks quarreling about a cat was not very different. They were acting from their upside down attitudes. I am a body mind, and this cat belongs to me, or this cat belongs to us, the Western Hall. This all is mired in dualism. And here, when Nansen discovered this, he was already greatly disappointed in his monks. So he seized the cat and told the monks, "If any of you can say a turning word, you can save this cat." None of the monks answered. And this in itself again shows how the monks were entangled in their own upside-down ways, struggling with their own body minds, with their own private dreams. They were so entangled that they were like speechless, and no one shouted, "Stop it!" or "Meow!" or do anything else to try to stop Nansen to kill the cat. Because of that, Nansen was even more disappointed. So he boldly cut the cat in two. But let me ask you now, can you really cut a cat in two? Can you really cut life in two? This also contains an important message. From an upside-down attitude or point of view, there are objects out there and there is an object over here, and all these objects can be cut in two. But from the right side up point of view, we live ourselves as this one vast ocean of consciousness, in which phenomena come and go like waves in the water, and that vast aware space cannot be cut into two parts. Indeed, all you would end up with is when you cut some objects like that in two, would be some flesh and bones. The story is in fact quite related to a story from the Bible, which is the story of Solomon threatening to cut a baby in half. Remember, you had these two mothers fighting for a baby, one saying, "This is my baby," "No, this is my baby." At last, Solomon said, "Well, since you're both quarreling for this baby, I will cut it in two." Further to which one of the mothers screamed and said, "Save the baby and give it to her. At least it will stay alive. At least I will know it will be there, alive and well." In this case, one of the mothers interacted and the baby was saved. In the case of Nansen and his monks, unfortunately the monks all remained silent, and the cat unfortunately was not saved. Let's continue the koan. That evening Joshu returned, and Nansen told him about what had happened. Joshu removed his sandals and put them on his head, walking out. Nansen said, "If you had been there, you could have saved the cat." Now this is actually act number 2 of this koan. Act number 1 was in the monk, with all the monks present with the cat, and this is a second act with Joshu putting the sandals on his head. And many Zen students grapple with the possible meaning. Why did Joshu put sandals on top of his head? What is the meaning of that? Some interpret this as it was just a spontaneous gesture, and trying to understand it or trying to intellectualize it, it would always be far away from the truth. We should just see it as a spontaneous gesture. However, my interpretation is that with the sandals on this head, he actually expressed some kind of sorrow for monks having upside down ways. Indeed, fighting over a cat is having upside down ways. And remaining silent at such a crucial moment when the cat was going to be killed, it shows upside down ways. And sandals are supposed to be at your feet, not on top of your head. Thank you very much for listening, and please take a few moments after this video to reflect and also to remember what it might mean to live in a right-side-up way, having right-side-up views and living this aware space as you have lived it when you were a baby and as you can live it when you do some meditation. Thank you.